Oh boy, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Can we get real for a second on this channel? So, everybody knows Johnny Depp, right? Of course, we all love Johnny Depp. He played in lots of roles. But have you ever heard of Amber Heard? I mean, me personally, I've never heard of this woman. I've seen her play in Aquaman, and I only realized that that's who the actress was because now she's in the tabloids about it coming out that she actually is the one that physically abused Johnny Depp. Here's a rundown of the information. This girl is a whole class of trash. And the reason I say that is because that's how she treats people. And people who usually treat other people like trash are trash themselves because that's all they know. I know some people are going to come out and be like, oh, it's because she has mental issues. It's not totally her fault. Okay, you know what? First of all, go. There's the door. Get your little ass out of here. Because if a man had done the same thing, nobody would be coming to his rescue saying, oh, it's because he has mental issues. He needs help. What the hell? That's something that a victim or somebody with Stockholm Syndrome would say. I do not want to hear that freaking double standard mess on here, because you know damn well you would not be saying that if it was a guy. This culture has become so annoying, and I'm so glad I can rant about it on this channel, because I am so sick and tired of females getting a free pass at everything. And as a female myself, it is disgusting. Wow, I sound like that woman. Disgusting! Do you remember how many people were canceled over the past few years because females came out of the woodworks and said that they supposedly flirted with them? Even men that didn't touch women. Like, they just basically came on to them and said, oh, I think you're pretty, or, you know, they were doing what men do. I mean, it's not an insult. Men are beings that are programmed to pursue females, to mate with them, and breed. That is the purpose of most biological male animals. I mean, why are people acting like this is a brand new thing? Boys will be boys. Yeah, of course they're gonna be boys. Men will be men because that is what they're designed to do. If a man hits on you and says you're pretty, then why are you not taking it as a compliment? Oh, I don't feel safe. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Maybe some people have fickle minds, or maybe there were some people who were abused. I understand that, but then you need to get yourself help. I was physically abused as well. I was sexually abused when I was younger by lots of people, not just men, mostly men, yeah, but also women. Maybe that's part of the reason I'm a freak. Who knows? But I grew up understanding that I'm not going to let what those people did define who I am. I never even had a problem with it. I never told anyone until I told my ex-boyfriend, who had been raped by one person when he was younger, and then he called my mother at work like a psycho, crying and saying that I had something to tell her. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Then it started this whole can of whoop-ass. I don't want to even get into that. The point of the matter is, those things happen. And I get that a lot of other people, most of basically every other person I've met that's been sexually molested, it messes them up. And I can't say I really understand because I never went through that. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe it's because I liked it. Who knows? I was real little and I was growing up. I didn't even understand what the hell was going on. All I knew was keep your mouth shut, and that was interesting. That was it. I went on with my life and I had normal relationships up until the point where I had a real boyfriend who cheated on me, and then I started having trust issues with people and noticing certain patterns when people are cheating on you. So you know what I do? I learned to look for people who are actually good, because there are signs if someone's a jackass. If they're going around and you know that they're a womanizer and you get with that person, then you're an idiot. And by saying that, I'm also going to say that Johnny Depp, I know that he's a victim in this, but it's partly his fault too, because he knew that this woman was who she was, and he decided to go ahead and marry her with the understanding, or with the thought that if he did, that the fights would, you know, not stop, but at least go down a little bit. Maybe part of his whole psyche, or him being messed up, he's attracted to people who are abusive. And I'm not saying that, oh, well, it's all his fault, but when you make the choice to be with someone who's like that, just like I made the choice to be with those assholes back in the day, or stay with them after they did things to me, I can't put all the blame on them. I have to put the blame on me, because I knew who they were when I got with them. Even with all that, situations where I was in a relationship with a guy, and he hit me. Call me crazy or stupid, but it never occurred to me to ever call the cops or tell anyone. Never. I mean, now I'm telling people because it's in line with what's going on, but I'm not going to say who it is. What business do I have destroying somebody else's life? Now, if this person is an actual abuser, like they come in drunk and they're beating you within inches of your life constantly, unprovoked, then yeah, that person needs to go to jail. And call me crazy or old-fashioned, but I still don't think that it's the public's business what's happening. I think I should call the police, and if the neighbors find out that he's getting drawn off in handcuffs or whatever, that's that situation. But I'm not gonna go in the tabloids and say, hey, this person named Justin William, that's not the real name, of course, but I'm just using an alias, you know what I mean? Yeah, he did this to me and ruin his entire life. Like, why would I do something like that? There was somebody I dated back in the day, this redneck guy, and, you know, I think he was hot, you know, he was part German, whatever, and he had some issues, okay? I knew he had issues. I went out with him knowing those issues and knowing his past. This was some years ago, but when I realized that I no longer wanted to be in that relationship, I tried to leave. He got up in my face, he never touched me. He got up in my face and I told him to move. I kept telling him to move. I kept warning him. He kept on getting in my face, asking me what I was gonna do. And I never thought that he would hit me. I don't think he would ever hit me. But I punched him because I felt like I was being provoked, and he was barring my exit, and he was in my face, in my personal space. So I punched him. So he looked at me and I knew what was coming next, because it's like one of those looks when it's like, what the hell did you just do? And I'm like, shit. But he didn't even punch me, he just shoved me on the floor. I mean, a guy is a lot stronger than a woman. I will give you that. Biologically, men are stronger. So if I had shoved him like that, he wouldn't have moved. But I'm 5'3", I'm tiny. So I went sprawling on the floor, and then he started to chokehold me, and then I started passing out. Eventually, he realized what he was doing and then started bursting into tears, and he was apologetic and all of that. I think he was desperate because he thought I was leaving, and I did touch him first. Now, I know a lot of you are going to come out here and say, oh my god, that's horrible, he's an evil monster. No, that's not why I'm saying this. You don't know the person. And I know I sound like one of those victims, but trust me, even though I'm a small person, I'm the farthest thing from a victim. My personality is way too strong to be a victim, and that's not a slight at anyone else. I don't want people to latch on to things like that and take offense at everything I say. I'm just venting how I feel. In my mind, I refuse to be one. The reason why I pointed all that out is because as heightened as that was and intense as that was, I never thought to call the police. I never thought to be like his whole family, yeah, he did this to me and he did that to me. No. In my mind, that was a private thing between the both of us. He lashed out. I lashed out first. He lashed out. And that was a private thing between the both of us. Full stop. I didn't have any marks on me, and contrary to me punching him, he didn't have any marks on him either. It was private. The point of the matter is, I made the choice after that to forgive him and stay with him because I was an idiot. He never did it again, and every time I tried to break up with him, you know, it was difficult for reasons. I'm not gonna lie, but what happened between us was between us. Why would I drag his name through the mud so that he can never have a chance at redeeming himself? And if you think about it this way, if somebody does that to you, let's say that Johnny Depp had hit, what's her name? Amber. Yeah, let's say if he had hit her. Even if he had hit her, I think that he should be sentenced. But then when he serves his sentence, then he should go out and go about his life. Maybe he'll be exiled, but stopping him from ever making money again, especially if the situation was due to provocation, I think there should be certain laws in place, or there should be some total reform of how they sentence people based on crimes. If someone hits somebody and just keeps beating them, woman or man, they should be sent to an asylum because obviously something is wrong with them. If a man or woman is hitting the other person because they're defending themselves or they're being provoked, that should be taken into consideration. Did you know that there are cases where a female is attacking a girl? That the girl isn't fighting her, but a female is attacking the girl, and the boyfriend steps in to try and protect his girlfriend. Then the girl starts beating up on him, and so he hits her once. Now remember, this girl, or this female that's aggressive, is hitting him multiple times in the face and trying to get at his girlfriend, the person who he loves and is trying to protect, just like a mother would her child. And he goes to jail, but the woman who assaulted both of them does not. There's something seriously wrong when you have situations like that. And honestly, I think a lot of that stuff was allowed to happen or run rampant because of the whole Me Too movement and because of this culture seemingly putting this thing on females and minorities that anybody who was oppressed in the past can do no wrong. Is it impossible for a Chinese person to be racist against a white person or a black person? It is impossible for a female to abuse a man. And the minute that we start doing that, of course people are going to take advantage of the system and also belittle actual victims who are going through real life oppression or situations like that. In the case of Amber, apparently this isn't the first time she's done this, and she's repeatedly done it unprovoked. We hear her in the audio clip even saying that, well, Johnny, maybe if you didn't leave, that wouldn't happen. I wouldn't get angry like that to want to hit you. She didn't say those exact words, but that's basically what she says. I'm just paraphrasing. And I'm just like, really? So it's not even like he's up in her face. He's leaving, and she's throwing things at him that can actually kill someone if it hits you the wrong way. She's thrown pots and pans and all manner of different objects at him. I think there was even a case where she threw a vodka bottle at him and split open his finger and fractured the bones. And if he got hit in his head or in a certain angle, he would be dead. I was watching this clip a long time ago of a stallion and a mare, and they were trying to get the two to mate. And the stallion was tied up, so he couldn't even really move because the mares tend to kick. You know how powerful a horse's kick is. He couldn't even move away from her, so when she kicked, it hit his head, and he just had a seizure and dropped down dead. Because that's how hard. She just kicked him at the right angle on the face and killed the male by accident. And I'm just saying, that's a big-ass animal. So if you have a human being, you're throwing something like a pot at him, and they're rich, so we know they have some good quality stuff. It's not that aluminum crap. You throw something like that at him, he's not able to dodge, or it hits him, you can blind him, you can maim him, you can fracture his skull, or you can outright kill him. For that matter of assault, I don't know why this woman is not in jail. Now, he is filing a lawsuit against her, but I'm just wondering if the shoe was on the other foot and had been a guy doing all these things, would he not have already been in jail? But I guess jail means something different for Hollywood people. I mean, I guess their prisons are kind of different. It's not really a sentence. I think what really matters is their money and their publicity and their reputation. And because Amber made this whole thing public and then she tried to ruin Johnny's reputation by saying that he's the one that was actually abusing her and making up her face or doing whatever the hell she did to her face to make it look like he hit her, holy crap, then that means her reputation should be over. If you try to ruin someone else's reputation, your reputation should go down the drain. Johnny Depp should be reinstated, and I think in some cases if he was ever working on a job and this happened and he was fired, he should be compensated for that. Look how many lives females have ruined. I'm not saying that men are completely innocent. There are men that are bad, but just like there are bad men, there are bad women, and in some cases, the women are worse. Dude, like they say that they have the saying that men will fight you. They'll take a sword and chop your head off. A woman is like a snake. She'll smile in your face and poison your food. And to me, that's so much worse because I could not see me doing that to someone who trusts me. You put poison in their food or you go behind their back and do something like this. Like, what the hell? So if someone knows, it's human nature. If they know that they have a propensity to get away for something that they do where their other party won't, of course they're going to take advantage of it. They're going to be like, oh, well, who are they going to believe over you? I've seen clips like that. This girl beating herself, and her friend is filming it. Don't know why she's doing that, but good job. Your best friend just sold you out. And she's hitting herself with a hammer so that, because she's mad, I guess the guy's leaving her or he cheated on her or something. I don't know. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna, tell the cops he did it. Who do you think they're going to believe? And of course, she has marks in her body, and it's just her word against his, but guess who they believe instantly? Her. Of course, because a woman can do no wrong. I even know someone that I lived across at some point, and this woman was really, really mad at him for something. She didn't like him. I guess he blew her off because he didn't want to be in a relationship with her anymore, based on what he said and how they were screaming, because people could hear them. And she called the cops on him. He never hit her. And she said that before all of this happened, she said, I'm going to tell him that you hit me. And he's like, why would you do that? And something else he asked her. And she's like, well, it don't matter. Who do you think they're going to believe? And of course, she told them And they believed her, even though she had no marks on her body, even though he didn't even touch her. He had a lot of his items confiscated from him. Thank goodness it wasn't a public thing because they're like a small society, whatever. But that was really messed up because he had no choice. And he even knew one of the cops and told him what happened. And he's like, man, I believe you. But unfortunately, because of, it's a woman, you're screwed. Even the cop told him straight up that, you're screwed, dude, I'm sorry. Even though you're innocent, and I believe you. Like, what the hell? There's something seriously wrong with that. So anyways, I know I ranted about this, and I even went into my past. There you go. But I'm just at least happy that in this situation, people are beginning to see. Maybe it's because a lot of females like Johnny Depp. I don't know. But now people are beginning to turn around and realize how much bullshit this really is. This whole thing with people being abusive of the system and the whole censoring thing and all of the stuff that's been happening, I think it's cyclical. And right now we're at the end of that bullshit cycle, as I call it, of these people being crazy, throwing hot coffee in people's faces because they didn't vote for the same person as you, beating up someone who's a different skin color, but because that skin color is white, you're not an evil person and you get off. Putting people in jail for not using a pronoun that doesn't even fit what you look like. Society is unraveling, and at some point, the rest of normal society is going to say enough is enough. And it is going to start to make a turn. People are going to start pushing back at this mad nonsense that has been inundating our society. This is what happens when people are too safe. This is what happens when people don't have to work very hard, where everything is given to them, when they're too entitled, when they never grew up with hardship because their parents went through that whole time when they had to endure hardship and made everything super easy. This is what happens when you don't discipline your kids. But it seems as though it is at least changing for now, and I at least want to spend the rest of my life. I know I have a long life ahead of me, but I would like to spend most of it, if not all of it, on that end of the cycle where everything is normal again and people aren't psycho. Whew, I feel better now. Anyways, see you later.